Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Keeping Up with Anna. Guys, I see the love that you're giving me and I love you right back. Nyi wote ni ma VIP wangu, Today I'm serving hair goals, Guys, did you realize that when you grow your hair naturally, it grows so good? Inameanga vizuri, haina mambo mingi. Lakini for image purposes. Yeah. Now I have hair goals leo. And nails. So guys, leo wacha niwape mshene. Najua mnapenda mshene. Najua mnapenda udaku. So, let me tell you about an Uber driver that after summarizing everything that happened on that day, I thought he was an angel sent by God to just come feed me, to just come provide for me, to just come and console me, So, it's on 31st. Mnakumbuka nyi wote 31st kwenye nilikuwa wapi? I was outside. I'm always outside, guys. I'm always outside. So, 31st, I was outside. Mnajuanga, mkienda out mkiwa rende, either mtalala kwa mmoja wenu, ama kila mtu achukue kaba aende nyumbani. And on this particular 31st, hii tunaongelelea 31st ya date. Hii yenye imepita 2023 December 31st. So nimeenda huko nje, nimerukaruka, nimewaua. Munanijua. When I'm outside. Nimekill huko nje, nimedance, nimekunywa yangu yote, nimechoka. So, when it came time to go home, we were 4. Remember? We were 4. It was me, my sister, another friend of ours, and the cousin of this friend. Hawa wawili, they were male. We are literally neighbors back at home. Tunakwanga neighbors. Nobody dates anybody, but we just know each other and we find each other's company kinda inajipa, form inajipa. Yani form ikijipa, tunaweza dandia form tunaenda pamoja. So it was not like anybody was dating anybody, no. It was friends just hanging out. It was me, my sister, and that guy and the cousin. Then tukaenda. Venye tulimaliza kupiga sherehe, tulienda kwa nani? Kwa huyu cousin. Kwa the guy. We had 2 guys. The owner of the house and the cousin to this owner of the house. So we went to the owner of the house kwenye nililala mimi. Haya, that house was a big mansion. If you remember, niliwapigia tu picha, I posted a video. If you didn't see that video, go back to my videos. Uko nyuma, utaona how I spent my 31st, how I spent New Year's Eve. I have a video. So you will see that house. It was a big mansion. Guys, that house had many rooms. Nakumbuka everybody took their own room. Mi nilikuwa na room yangu, of which my room had 2 beds. My sister took her own room. The cousin had her own room. The owner of the house went to their room. Yani kila mtu alilala kivyake. Haya, tukaamka. Kuamka the next day, obvious hangover, nini, na feel niko na hangi. So, nikaamka mara ya kwanza. I went outside, took videos, nikaangalia jua. But I was feeling a headache. I had a headache. Juu nilikuwa nimelewa the previous night. I am a Bailey's baby. So, when people buy whiskey or brandy, I still can take them. Nita overdilute, obviously, but the next day I'll have a very bad headache. So, when I woke up, I had a very bad headache. Nikaenda tu nje, nikachukua tu ka video kadogo kuwaonyesha mandhari. You have to keep up, right? I do that for you people, Nikawaonyesha mandhari, and then after doing that nikarudi kulala. That was round 1 of me waking up. I slept for another 1 hour and I woke up again. On waking up, the headache was persisting now. Nikasema, I want some coffee and at least 2 eggs. At least nataka kufeel tumbo yangu iko na kitu so that nichukue cab niende home. And I couldn't go home nikifeel hivyo. I was feeling dizzy. Literally, I thought nikichukua cab naeza lala ama ni bleki ndani ya hiyo gari, and that's not a very good thing to do. You know, you don't know who your Uber driver will be. Anaweza kumesa hapa, anaweza kuibia. So mimi sikuwa nataka hiyo maneno, sikuwa nataka hiyo story. Nikaenda nikakunywa kahawa na nikapiga mayai 2. Actually, I cooked eggs for everybody that day. I cooked eggs for everybody na mi nikapika kahawa, the rest of the people took tea. So we enjoyed our breakfast, then I went back to sleep. At this point, the reason I'm doing this is because I'm waiting for my sister. There was this thing that had just come up. Ilikuwa inaitwa sijui something task. Remote task. Hii kitu kuna chali fulani amechoma, ameambia president sijui they are doing it remote task. Was it that? Sijui ni, yeah, something of the sort, an online gig that was coming up. So my sister and this owner of the house walikuwa wana work towards that. And me being the influencer that I am, they wanted me to market it for them. So nilikuwa nangoja wamalize hii project, waniambie kwani kunaenda aje, nichukue hiyo kazi, nipige marketing, you know. So nilikuwa nangoja sistangu wamalize it was kind of they were working. Wao walikuwa wanafanya kazi. Mimi I was nursing hangover. So it came a point I feel really hungry. Nikamwambia mimi nataka tu soup ya nyama. You know, hangovers inakuwa kama mimba. You want things that don't make sense. So mimi nikamwambia nasikia kukunywa soup ya nyama. Nasikia kukunywa soup. Haya. Huyo the owner of the house told the cousin aende anichemshie nyama nipate soup. I think the cousin hakupata memo mimi ndo nimesema nataka soup. That's why ameodariwa apike. So nikaamka, nikasikia nikiwa nimelala nikasikia harufu ya tunyama. Nikasikia harufu ya kasupu. Nikaamka. Mimi huyo kitchen. At this point my sister and this other guy walikuwa inaitwaje cyber. Walikuwa cyber wana try sijui kumalizia nini kuhusu hizo accounts. So mi nilikuwa kwa hii nyumba, I was sleeping and now the cousin was cooking meat. Alikuwa anachemsha nyama. So nikaenda kitchen nikaambia huyu kuzo, hey, sasa nataka soup ya nyama. And the cousin looked at me, akaniambia soup ni ya dogi. Akaniambia soup ni ya dogi. Mimi nataka kukunywa soup. Wewe unaniambia soup ni ya dogi. How even? I'm the one who told the owner of the house tupike nyama ndo nikunywe soup, na wewe unaniambia soup ni ya dogi. Guys, I could be with you 1 minute niko sina hasira. You do something to me like this, hasira yangu shoot. Hasira yangu nilikuwa hapa, nilikuwa nachezea huko kwa jet huko, hasira ilipanda. I was like, what the f, so I won't have soup because your dog. So na compete kukunywa soup na dogi. I was so mad and I felt abused because I have my own house. What am I doing here? So I just picked up my call. Nikaambia sistangu, me huku I cannot anymore. They're disrespecting me. Wananiambia soup ni ya dogi na mimi nataka soup. nataka soup. So I just took my phone, called a cab, na mimi nikatoka kwa hiyo nyumba. I was so done with them. Cause how? Okay, I understand nyinyi mabola, but sisi kwetu tunakunywanga soup ya nyama. It's not a big deal. Me kwanza, I love that soup. Anytime I boil meat, I have to take soup. Na kunywanga supu. Napenda supu mbaya. Na hii hangover yangu inanitisha soup. Inanitisha soup ya nyama, to be specific. Soup ya beef. Umeboil beef, lakini unataka kupea soup dogi, alafu mimi sitaki. So I offered a solution to this nigger. Nikamwambia, siongeze maji, si wote tupate soup. Mimi na dogi to share. We can share. I didn't have a problem sharing. This guy goes, nyama itapoteza ladha. Ati aliniambia nyama itapoteza ladha yake. And I was like, God, good Lord. Mind you, we were boiling meat karibu 1 kg. Easy quarter, easy nyama 100. We are talking about a 1 kg. A 1 kg. Like, I only needed 1 cup of soup. Dogi ingekunywa the other cup. I only needed you to add 2 cups of water. Sisi wote tupate soup. Mimi na dogi. Mimi nikaona mimi matajiri wako na mambo mingi, sita compete na dogi. I took a cab. Nika jam. I called my sister and told her, I cannot wait for you. I'll have to go home. I cannot do this. And for sure I couldn't. I just couldn't. It was too much for me. It was too much. Just too much. It was just too much for me. Nikachukua cab. So niko kwa simu na teta. You know, I was wearing a shower dress. You go back to my YouTube, utaona what I was wearing. I was wearing a very short dress. And my bag, because I had not changed anything, not my makeup, I had not showered. The same way I was last night is the same way I was this morning that you are talking about. Now, right now, it was around kitu 12. Yeah. So niko kwa simu. Hey sis, imagine this nigga told me. I'm complaining to my sister who is not in the house. Him and the owner of the house wako huko wanashughulikia sijui remote tasks. What are those accounts called? Hizo accounts za online. Walikuwa wanazishughulikia. Hey sis, I cannot do this anymore. So I entered the cab nikicomplain. So the Uber driver ananisikiza nikicomplain. Imagine nilikuwa nataka nyama. Huyo mtu akaniambia, nilikuwa nataka soup ya nyama. Huyo mtu akaniambia ati sijui supu. Mimi wacha niende tu home nipike supu. Nasikia kichwa nasikia kuanguka, lakini I rather just go home. Mimi hata niko na nyama kwa freezer, sijui mbona najiforce. I complained. I was complaining to my sister for about 10 minutes. Literally, kwa Uber 2 minutes, I'm complaining, I'm mad. Nikakata hiyo simu, nikamwambia my sister, when you guys are done, you can just come home. You know? Period. So, this Uber guy was listening to me. He was listening to me complain the whole time. Ananiangalia tu hapo kwa kamera. Si unajua kwa kamera kana kwanga hapo kwa gari. Ananiangalia, a beautiful lady complaining hajapewa supu. Ati ameambiwa ana compete na kadogi kukunywa supu. So this guy told me, sasa poa sana. How was your Eve? Your what? Your 31st inaitangwa aje? That one. I told him, yeah, everything was fine. Kila kitu ilienda poa, but this morning I just woke up, nilikuwa na hangover, nasikia tu kukunywa supu ya nyama, and uko kuna mtu hata si yeye mwenye nyumba ameboil nyama na amekataa kunipe kikombe ya supu. This guy told me, usijali, hiyo ni kitu ndogo. Hata hapa kwa boot nimebeba nyama, nimebeba supu, nimebeba chapati. Yani utakula uziangalie. And I thought he was joking, guys. Tuko kwa nini, kwa njia, tukakuja tukiongea. He was vibes. Mi napenda watu wanapenda kuongea na wananiongelesha vitu zina make sense. Unajua, not politics. So we were talking generally about life. Now kujam yangu sasa imeanza kureduce. Ilikuwa hapa, sasa inaenda hivi. Tunaenda tukireduce kujam, tukireduce kujam. Hey, tukafika a town near where I live, the town before nifike home. And I felt like I needed more meat. Sikuwa nakumbuka ni kama niko na nyama enough kwa fridge. And I told this Uber driver, I think utanishukisha hapa nichukue nyama, more meat. I knew I had meat in the house, but I didn't know if it's enough. Remember, we are two, me na sistangu. Nikamwambia utanishukisha hapa nione kama nitachukua nyama. The Uber driver told me, no, I told you I have meat. Nikadhani ana joke. Nikadhani we are still joking. In my mind I was like, this nigger is playing with me. Hana supu na hana hizo nyama. Anataka tu kunifanya ni feel vizuri ndo aninyonye pesa, ni mtip pesa mingi. So hakunishukisha. We drove to where I live. Venye tulifika kwenye tunaishi, kwenye sasa mi naishi, the Uber driver, now at this point we are friends. I know him. Amenipigia stories, we are now brother in Christ. Aya, tukashuka. Sikushuka, akaenda kwa boot. This guy was not joking with me. Akatoa supu na kibuyu. Akatoa hot dish. Imejaa nyama nyama za kuchemshwa, nyama za kukaangwa, nyama za kuchomwa. It was you see a hot dish. So apparently the guy was coming from the mother-in-law. Walikuwa wameenda Christmas. Sasa inakuanga date 1. Sasa we are talking about date 1. Si tumetoka 31st. So on this day yenye nasikia kukunywa soup ni date 1. Normal people are celebrating with their families. Lakini walevi tunanas hangover. You get it? So the Uber driver alikuwa ametoka kwa mother-in-law. Ameacha watoto na bibi huko, akaingia job. Sasa the first client to carry was who? So the mother-in-law anaishi hapo karibu na where the house was, kwenye tulikuwa tumelala. Where I live and where we were, it's like a 20 minutes with Uber, it's like 20 minutes ka distance. So yeye alikuwa ametoka kwa mother-in-law na mimi nimetoka wapi? Kwenye imo wa supu. So alikuwa amepakiwa ndio akienda home asipike. You know, when the mama akibaki kwa mother-in-law, lazima bwana apangwe. Atakula nini mpaka kesho asubuhi. This mambaba akanitolea hot dish ya nyama. Nyama ya kukaangwa, nyama ya kuchomwa na nyama ya kuchemshwa. Zilikuwa hapo. Easy, he said. On top of it, he had kibuyu imejaa soup Alafu alikuwa na machapo zingine kubwa. Mimi kwanza alitoa hizo chapo nikaanguka na kicheko. They were so big. Mimi sijaona chapo kubwa hivyo. I'm used to chapo inatoshana hivi. This guy had machapo zinakaa masikio ya ndovu. Zilikuwa zinakaa hivi. Like in that chapo you can take 3 more chapos out of it. Nikamuuliza hizi chapo nani amepika? Akaniambia mother-in-law wangu hupika chapo zinatoshana hivi. Ati anakuwa na pan nyingine kubwa. So that's how she cooks. Akatoa supu, akatoa Coca-Cola baridi, alafu akatoa tumbler. Akaniambia, sitaki ukasirike na December, sitaki ukasirike mwaka mpya, kaa hapa, kula. Ukule mpaka ushibe. Alafu ukishamaliza kukula, chukua hizo zingine, peleka huko juu, gawia kwa sahani zako, uniletee hot dish. Guys, ilikuwa sasa hii ni karibu saa 6. Mi nikaanza kukula. Nakula na shiba na pumzika. Naendelea kukula. At this point now he's giving me stories za familia yake, how they met with the wife, venye ashaishi kwa akicheat, venye watoto, venye how he budgets for the kids, how he has met. Yani ananipa stories zote za maisha yake. His vibes. Mi namsikiza tu na hot dish ya manyama, Coca-Cola hii side, supu hii side na kichapo. Guys, I ate. I ate. Nilikula. Nikakula. Nikimaliza nikimwambia, sasa wacha niende. Ananiambia pana, pumzika kidogo, endelea kukula. So like it was just like that. Tunamaliza kupiga stories za watoto wake, anaanza kuniambia how they met with the wife, anamaliza kunipigiza, anaanza kunipigia stories za clients wake, the VIP clients wenye humsumbua, how he built his house, how, yani literally I got to know this guy in one setting. Nikikula nini choma sana, ananiambia hapana, haujaguza chemsha haija move. Tunamaliza chemsha na hii karanga. I felt so nice. I felt he was an angel sent from above, because God didn't want me to start my year on a bad note. Ebu imagine ni date 1 na umejam. Date 1, like umeanza mwaka na hasira za supu. Imagine that. What a way to start a year. Sata heri ningelala niamke on a good note, you know. So venye nilimaliza kukula, this guy, now we started talking about hiyo issue ya huyo kakijana kuninyima soup, and we looked at it at 2 ways. One, it was he's from a place of lack. Remember, this guy is a cousin to this owner of the house. Yes, yeye Bombe, yes, si Bola. Yeye amekuja kutembea Christmas. So he's from a place of lack. So he felt like if I took that soup, ni kama nawamalizia supu ama namaliza. He wanted me to go ndo nisikule food yao. And on another side was, wao ni mabombe, so soup si ya binadamu, supu ni ya dogi according to them. So I forgave the guy, and I looked at both sides of the story, of the coin, and I was like, yeah, I could be wrong. Maybe kwao hawakunywangi soup ni ya dogi, or I could be right. He is just selfish and he didn't want us in their cousin's house because it's not his house. Na sijui kwa nini wenye vitu ndo wanakwanga na shida kuliko mwenye vitu, because the owner of the house was so free. He was like, you guys take anything you want. What do you want? What do you want to take? Yani ni nyama gani? Do you want chicken? Do you want beef? Do you want? But now he couldn't cook for us. He's a baller. Anapika aje. So the cousin ndo anapewa hiyo duty. So back to my Uber driver. Nikamaliza kukula. At this point, trust me, tulikula story for a whole day. He didn't hakuenda job tena. Alikaa hapo akiadmire tumapaja twangu. Remember, my thighs are outside, all of them. He's facing like this, I'm eating facing the other way. Mi nakaanga hapa back left. Niko back left, ako pale kwa driver seat, ameangalia hivi, tunapiga story, mi nakula, namaliza. Nilikunywa, cha nisijaibishe, nilikula, nikakula ikio kichapo, nikakunywa Coca-Cola chupa, the big 2 liter, almost half, nikakunywa supu. Like by the time I was done, I was so full, all I wanted was to shower and sleep. If I tell you guys, tulitoka kwa hiyo gari at 7 eating, just eating, relaxing, eating, relaxing, eating stories. And then this Uber driver told me, for that matter, I will bring you meat every day for 7 days. Ukunywe supu mpaka you can't take it anymore, mpaka usikie vibaya hapa. I thought he was joking, guys. Hey. Haya, nikamaliza kukula, nikachukua hot dish ya wenyewe. Mimi huyo mpaka upstairs. Nikaweka nyama zangu, nikachukua machapo 2, alibaki na the rest. He had stew bado ya minji nini. Mimi sikuwa nataka stew, mimi nilikuwa tu nataka nyama. So nilimbakishia machapo na maminji. Minji had meat too, but hizo nyama zingine zote hizo fry, choma, chemsha. He told me to go and niweke kwa kwangu, then nirudi na supu. So nikaenda kwa hao, nikaweka nyama, nikaweka soup, alafu nikamuoshea ka hot dish, you know, courtesy. Nikamuoshea ka hot dish, nikamrudishia tu vitu twake. Akaenda. The next day, this guy called kitu saa 5. He came to where he dropped me. Akaniachia dhao, akaniambia hiyo ni ya nyama ya leo. And for that week, trust me guys, he was coming. Kila siku ananiachia dhao. Kila siku ananiachia dhao. Kila siku ananiachia dhao, ananiambia ni ya nyama. Kila siku anakuja ananiachia dhao ni ya nyama. Kila siku anakuja ananiachia dhao ni ya nyama. I was beginning to get used to it until akaniomba. When the deal is too good, you think twice. Mimi, in my head, I was like, he's just a nice guy, you know. He's old. Haizi niomba. Haizi. And then he has a family. He has a wife. He's just a kind man. He's just keeping his words, you know. Delusional. For a whole week of 2023. Nilikuwa naletewa pesa ya nyama. Dhao. Kila siku. Dhao. When now that week ended, this guy started hitting on me, and I was like, no. No, you are not my time. I have a time, and you are not it. I know you are an angel sent by God, but angels don't do things bad manners. You know, you are behaving like you are not an angel anymore. Kazi yako imeisha. Kazi ulitumwa kufanya na Mungu ishaisha. Because I remember at that week I was so down. God, yani nilikuwa chini. It was those times in my life when I would say I was on the low. Yani sijui nifanye nini. I don't know how to survive. I don't know how to do it. And one day I'll tell you what I was going through. Siku moja tu ya masiku, you keep up. Nitawaambia what I was going through that day. So that's why I thought this guy was an angel sent to me by God to prevent me from doing something I wanted to do to myself. Something harmful. Yeah, I know. Unaniangalia unasema, yeah, we all have our low moments, and that 31st was my lowest moment. Hii 31st ya hii mwaka imeanza, that year was so rough for me. That year kutoka around March, actually 2023, the whole year was a bumpy ride for me. Ilikuwa hivi. It's the year my mom was so sick. It's the year I closed my business. It's the year I lost my best friend. It's the year I lost my boyfriend. It's the year I lost another best friend. It's the year I almost lost my house. How about that? Yeah. And on 31st, God sent that guy. He talked to me. He was kind of like a therapist to me. And thinking about it, I even feel like crying. That guy talked to me. He taught me how to budget. He told me stories about his lowest moments. And I listened to that guy, guys, for hours and hours and hours and hours. Because it was him that I got hope of tomorrow. As much as I was happy, I was drinking, I was partying, deep down in my life, my life was falling apart. Out there, life was perfect, but deep down, life was falling apart. If you have ever lost a boyfriend, if you have ever lost a best friend, if you have ever lost a business, you know what I was going through. You definitely know what I was going through. Yeah, that is what I was going through. And I'm not talking about a best friend of 2 years. I'm not talking about a best friend of 2 months. I'm talking a best friend of 7 years. I'm talking about a best friend of 7 years. I'm talking about a boyfriend of 7 years. I'm talking about a business that costed us almost $1 million. I'm not talking about small things. I'm talking about a house that I have worked on for more than 5 years. I almost lost everything in a year, guys. I almost lost everything in 1 year, even nikiangalia hivi. And that guy came to me. So when I was asking for a soup, I just felt like not everything, not even a soup. God, you want to take everything, even food. You want to take everything, hadi chakula. And I couldn't hold me. And at that particular 31st, I had also lost a business. I lost 2 businesses in 1 year. 2 businesses in 1 year. You know how much you invest in a business, and I'll tell you about businesses and how I have invested in businesses, but not on this video, on another video, and how I lost both of them and how I'm rebuilding myself. I'm in a season of rebuilding and I love it here, and I thank that Uber driver. As much as aliniomba after a week, obviously compare na singempea, and we ended communication just like that. I really wished he could have stayed in my life, but people are sent in your life for a season. It's not everybody who comes to your life is meant to stay. That Uber driver was sent by God to just distract me from what I was about to do. I was about to do something harmful to myself, and that Uber driver came on that day with what I wanted at that particular moment, which was soup and meat. And I ate, and he made me laugh, and he made me realize that I'm not the only one who goes through these things, and life is not that serious. That Uber driver gave me his stories. Alinipe story how he met his wife, how they were poor, how how they have built a house, how he was not educated, how venye alishaienda kwa mtu hawakwa wanampea chakula, huyo mtu siku hizi yeye sasa ndo huwa anamuomba mpaka gari akitaka kwenda mahali. Huyo mtu watoto wake amesomesha. Huyo mtu mwenye alikuwa anakataa kumpea food siku moja. He just told me his stories, and those stories kind of got into my heart, and I was like, yeah, I can do this. He taught me how to plan, guys. And funny enough, it's the people you don't expect. It's strangers who will help you. Trust me. It's not your family members. It's not your mom. It's not your dad. It's strangers who will help you in your most critical moment. I'll talk about it one day. Actually, in this series, I'll be giving you videos back to back, and I'll let you inside my life. See hii yenye mnaonanga deep inside my life, and you will get to know who Anne is and what I have been through, and how I did to survive. Let's call it surviving, because at times life puts you in a corner. Life puts you in a corner where the only thing you have to do is to survive. Yani lazima, you have to conquer. You have to get yourself out of that corner. And on that 31st, I was in that corner. And I was not willing to fight. I was willing to end it all. To end it all. And God sent that Uber driver. Hizo stories alikuwa ananipea zilikuwa stories za kubudget, how I can use my money, about friendships. He talked to me about his last relationships. We talked about everything life. And as if that is not enough, at night he also called me, he encouraged me, he sent me Bible verses. He was just a good man. Ni venye tu I'm sexy, so every man kinda wants to smash, and I'm not smashable by every man. I belong to my billionaire husband. That is it for today, guys, and bye. See you next time on the next one. Keep it locked. Keep it keeping up with Anna. How about that? Keep it keeping up with Anna. Bye.